4 a.m. The map of the Middle East does not fade, it incinerates. On the 3D tactical HUD, 523 hypersonic heat signatures have just cleared the Iranian coastline, screaming across the Persian Gulf at Mach 15. In Tel Aviv, the notification is not a warning, it is a eulogy. The Iron Dome, the world's most sophisticated short-range shield, has effectively ceased to exist. It is not a malfunction of software, but a surrender to physics. 2000. Kamikaze drones are currently saturating every radar frequency, acting as a kinetic veil for the heavy ballistic steel following inches behind. Sound of a digital countdown timer hits zero, followed by the distant, earth-shaking thud of a multi-gigajoule impact. The geography of global energy died in exactly 60 seconds. As the first wave of Fattah-2 glide vehicles impacted the Hormuz Chokehold, 20% of the world's daily oil supply was severed from the global heart. On Wall Street, stock tickers are not moving, they are collapsing. Crude oil has bypassed $250 per barrel in a single vertical spike. This is the point of no return. The line of fire now stretches uninterrupted from \****** Tehran to Tel Aviv \*****, proving that the geopolitical buffers of the last century have been erased by hypervelocity kinetic energy. Chaotic mix of trading floor screams and the high-pitched whistle of incoming ordnance. To understand the collapse, we must analyze the Fattah-2 Factor. This is not a standard ballistic missile. It is an unstoppable hypersonic glide vehicle. Traveling at \****15,000 km/h \****, the Fattah-2 ignores the curvature of the Earth and the logic of traditional interception. Because it maneuvers within the atmosphere, Aegis and Patriot systems are tracking a ghost that changes its terminal coordinates every millisecond. This is the Ring of Fire strategy in its final form. It is a multi-axis synchronization of violence. From Lebanon, Hezbollah launches 150 precision rockets per minute. From Yemen, the Houthis release Shahid 238 turbojet drones to target naval assets in the Red Sea. From Iraq, U.S. forward operating bases. The goal, outsmart a $$$$$200000. Interceptor \*****, use simply, with $2,000 drones. Different directions. The sound of rapid-fire interceptors launching, followed by the silence of an empty magazine clicking. The shield's paradox is now a mathematical ruin. Israel's Arrow 3 battery is a masterpiece of engineering, designed to hit a bullet with a bullet in space. Each shot costs roughly $3.5 million. Iran is countering this with the Shahid 136, a flying lawnmower that costs less than a used sedan. By the time the high-value Fattah-2 missiles reach their mid-course phase, the Arrow 3 inventory is already depleted, forced to engage a cloud of cheap, plywood decoys. To engage a cloud of cheap, plywood decoys. In the Red Sea, U.S. Navy Aegis destroyers are facing the same terminal calculus. The Density of the loitering munition swarm has created a permanent blind spot. Radar processors, overwhelmed by thousands of low RCS, radar cross-section, targets, are failing to prioritize the supersonic anti-ship missiles skimming just 5 meters above the wave tops. The feed cuts to static 2 meters before impact. High-pitched electronic screeching. At the 6 a.m. mark, the reality of the hidden speck emerges. Israel's intelligence community, the Mossad, confirms the nightmare, the missile cities. Buried 500 meters under the Zagros Mountains. These hardened subterranean complexes house thousands of ready-to-fire launchers. A preemptive strike is no longer a viable military option, it is a physical impossibility. The Earth itself protects. The Iranian magazine. H-hour plus 15 minutes. The response begins. U.S. CENTCOM initiates Operation Sentinel. From the remote Indian Ocean atoll of Diego Garcia, B-2 Spirit stealth bombers have already departed. Their mission is the Shia Crescent Severance. A desperate tactical attempt to cut the land bridge running through Syria. If the IRGC reinforcements reach the Mediterranean coast, the tactical simulation predicts a 100% probability of regional total war. The Fifth Fleet is now entering the most dangerous 21 miles of water on the planet, the Strait of Hormuz swarm zone. Every naval manual ever written is being thrown into the sea. This is no longer a battle of tonnage, it is a battle of distributed lethality. As the B-2s approach their drop zones, the sky over the Levant begins to glow with the secondary explosions of a shattered infrastructure. The U.S. and Israeli air assets are attempting to sever the flow of the IRGC, but the geography of the conflict has already shifted beyond their reach. This reach is now being strangled by the absolute silence of the global supply chain. When the Strait of Hormuz remains closed for more than 72 hours, the industrial heart of the East begins to stop. China, India, and Japan, nations whose very existence depends on the uninterrupted pulse of Middle Eastern crude, are the first to enter the energy doomsday phase. Their strategic reserves are not a solution, they are a countdown. As the lights flicker across the Pacific, the new axis of Russia and China moves from the shadows into the vacuum. This is the permanent displacement of U.S. influence in the Levant, achieved not through a treaty, but through the total collapse of the of Shanghai and Tokyo slowly flickering into darkness. The low-frequency hum of a massive power grid failing, followed by the sound of a heavy vault door locking. At the 9 a.m. mark, the final contingency fails. Intelligence confirms the destruction of the Ghost Pipeline, the secret, hardened alternate trade route that was supposed to bypass the Hormuz bottleneck. Targeted by IRGC stay-behind cells using high-yield subterranean thermobarics, the artery is severed. There is no plan B. The global economy is no longer in a recession, it is in a state pipeline structure deep underground. A series of red X's appear along the line as muffled, deep earth explosions vibrate the screen. The final verdict is written in the language of kinetic geography. This was never a war for territory, nor was it a conflict of ideology. It is the official death of the petrodollar era. Diplomacy has been replaced by the raw physics of denial. The era where a currency was backed by the promise of American protection has evaporated, replaced by a world where power is defined solely by the ability to hold a chokehold. In the aftermath, the survival map reveals a brutal new hierarchy. Only those who have secured the Mediterranean energy hub remain standing as functional modern states. The rest are relegated to the dark ages of the pre-industrial era. But while the world's eyes are locked on the burning ruins of the Middle East, the real hammer is being cocked 5,000 miles to the east. The correlation between the Hormuz Chokehold and the Taiwan Strait is not a coincidence. The camera pulls back from the Middle East, racing across the globe at hypersonic speed, until it centers on the Taiwan Strait. The screen fades to black as the sound of a massive naval railgun charging up fills the audio space.